So we've already learned about the standard normal curve. Now we're going to apply it to some potential real-life situations. So in the olden days, we would have to map any distribution onto the standard normal one because we had to look up the probabilities areas in a table. Now our calculators will do all of those mappings behind the scenes, so we don't have to do that. So here's our first example. The average weight of full-term newborn babies is 7.6 pounds with a standard deviation of 0.75 pounds. See if I can get the light a little bit better. If a newborn is chosen at random, what is the probability the baby weighs less than 8 pounds? So let's get a few things underway here. So we know the average weight, so that's average mean mu, is 7.6. And the standard deviation, sigma, or S or SD, whatever you're using, right, is 0.75. Everybody's in pounds, so we're great. Now we're going to write this probability, weighs less than 8 pounds. So what's the probability that a baby or baby at random, their weight is less than, so a less than symbol, 8. And that's how this is going to look. So P for probability, and then in parentheses, we're going to put that inequality, less than 8 pounds. So X, this is our random variable, right? It can take on any value. Now we're going to draw our picture, so we make sure we get everything in the right order. So we draw a standard normal curve, or just a normal distribution, I guess. It's not the standard one. In the middle goes the mean, exactly 7.6. Right, so these now are the X values, not the Z values. And then we go out by a standard deviation. You can use your calculator, right, to come up with those values. So the first one, and it's going to be too hard to really write, but just so that you know what they look like. Let me move that so you can see a little bit better. So 7.6 plus 0.75 gives me that first one of 8.35. There's our first one standard deviation above the mean and one standard deviation below the mean. So we'll do that same calculation with a minus. So 6.85. And we can go on. You can also have, right, a separate line with the Z's, and usually I do these in the reverse order. I'll put Z's on the top line and X's on the bottom. So my Z's, right, mu is 0, and then we go out 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviations, etc. Okay, so I've got my curve drawn, labeled. Now I'm going to look at my probability again. Probability that X is less than 8. So I'm going to find 8 on my graph. So it's just shy, right, between 7.6 and 8.35, somewhere in here. Doesn't have to be exact at all. And we want to be less than. So we're going to shade the area we're trying to find. So less than is to the left of. Less than, left. So we need to find that area. We can do it on our calculators. We can do it in an online calculator. I will go ahead and pull up an online calculator. So here's the TI calculator. And remember where these live, right, in the distribution menu. And this time we know the score, right? We know the raw score, and we want the area. So we know X, we want the area. So we're going to go to second distribution. So to get the area, that's the normal CDF. So we'll choose that. So my lower limit, remember that's all the way to the left. So this one, it starts, this is their way of saying negative infinity. -1 times 10 to the 99th. So, right, negative infinity. And then we want to stop. We can use our regular scores here. So we're going to stop at 8. The upper limit we're looking for is 8. But now we have to tell it the mu for this distribution. So that mu is 7.6. and the standard deviation is 0.75, and we'll paste and we'll enter. So that probability is 0.7031. 0.7031, or by round, 70.3%. So 70.3% of babies will be less than 8 pounds. Great. Okay, let's do the next one. What weight cuts off the top 5%? So this time we know the area, we know, right, probability and area, same thing. So this is our area, and we want the weight that does that. Okay. Sorry, up here, when the first one, part A, we did the normal CDF. When we go the other way, right, it's inverse normal. So let's go ahead and go back to our distribution. Oh, you're right. Let's draw the picture. Draw the picture. I can draw my curve. In the middle here is 7.6. I'm not going to label the other tick marks because I don't know exactly where they are, but I want the top 5%. I want to know what X value, what weight is going to cut off that top 5%. 5% to the right, 95% will be smaller than that. So we're going to go to inverse normal, choose that. We're going to give it the area. Notice if you look down just a little bit, right, we're able to tell it if we want left, right, or center. So I can actually give the area of 0.05. So the area goes in as a decimal, 0.05. Our mu is 7.6. Our sigma is 0.75, and we want to be to the right. And enter. So that value, that weight that cuts off the top 5% of baby weights, 8.83 pounds. Cool. All right, I'm going to just turn that off for 1 second. And let's get started on example 2. The average height of a human male is 69.5 inches with a standard deviation of 2.87 inches. Mostly made up. I'm in the ballpark, but pretty made up. If a male is chosen at random, what is the probability that person is taller than 72 inches? Do you want to try it on your own? You can pause, see how you get along. I'll try the other calculator. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use my handheld calculator just to show you that it's all the same. So let's write the probability statement. What's the probability? Oh, sorry, bring my light back. That an individual person's height is more than 72 inches. Draw my curve. I'll do the z's up top like I usually do. So z, I'll do a line below that with my x's. So z in the middle is 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. So the mu goes in the middle, so 69.5. So this is an odd number, so I would get, if I try to add those on, right? So that first one, right, my standard deviation above the mean would be 69.5 plus 2.87. So you could figure that out. It's just going to be a lot of decimals. I'm going to leave it off because, right, my calculator is going to do that for me, so I don't have to. All right, so I do have to move my light so that the calculator shows up. So it's still here under the distribution menu. So second, distribution. Oh, I didn't shade. 72, somewhere over here. Right, so I'm to the right. There's an area over here I'm trying to find. So I want the area, so that's normal CDF, option 2, and enter. Now my lower limit, I'm starting at 72. I'm ending way out there. So, right, 100 is going to be more than enough to get you, right, to the correct value for as many decimal places as your calculator will tell you. Mu in the question, 69.5. Sigma, 2.87. And we'll paste and we'll enter. So the probability that an individual person is greater than 72 inches is 19.2%, right? So 0.1918, 0.192, 0.192 if I round, and then, so this is an okay way to leave your answer as that decimal, or you can change it into a percent like I did. But if you do that, make sure you have your percent symbol, 19.2%. All right, B, what is the probability the person is between 68 inches and 72 inches? Again, let's see, we'll write the probability statement. So 68 is less than X is less than 72. I'm using X's because I'm talking about those raw scores, right? Those values of an individual, not the standardized ones. So you could convert it back over using our formula. I'm going to draw my curve. 69.5 is still in the middle. So I'm going to be a little bit to the left of that for the 68. A little bit to the right of that for the 72. We're finding that area in the middle. Again, this is that normal CDF, so I'll go ahead and let's try the other calculator. I think it's a little bit easier with this formula. Here we go. So this is that other calculator that you were using. On the random variable, it has z-score, but if you click that drop down, it gives us the option for a raw score. Here under probability, we're going to do the probability that's between, so x1 and x2. We'll put in the population mean, 69.5, and the standard deviation, 2.87, and the minimum value was 68. Oh, and the maximum is 72. I guess it was listening in. Calculate. Let's see if it'll still go. Oh, it didn't like that. Okay, let's try one more time. 72, make sure my internet's still there. X is in between. Population mean is 69.5. And the advertisements, fabulous, 2.87. The minimum value was 68. So the minimum and the maximum, these are coming from our probability statement. There we go. Now you want to be careful because the probabilities they give you are all of them. So we need to look through and find the one that we really wanted. And it's all the way down here. This probability between 68 and 72. So that is 0.5075 or, right, 50.75%. Just about half of the adult men would be between 68 inches and 72 inches. Okay, last example. Starting salaries for teachers are normally distributed with a mean of 71,000 and a standard deviation of 3,120. So mu is 71,000, sigma is 3120. If a teacher is offered a salary of $75,000, what percent of teachers will that person be making more than? Okay, so you kind of have to reason through. So 75,000, we know our mean goes in the middle. That's that 71,000. I'm just going to do 71, right? We know it's 71K. And the person is offered 75, so that's to the left. So this person makes more than what percent of the others? So percent, right? This is probability. This is area. So this person, this 75,000, is more than all of these to the left. So we need the area. We know the number. We need the area. That's normal CDF. So we're doing the probability that a person would make less than 75,000. I'm going to go back to my TI calculator just because I know how that works a little bit better. So second distribution, we're doing normal CDF. Lower limit's good at negative infinity. My upper limit is 75,000. Thank you. My mu is 71,000. And my sigma is 3120. So that person would be making more than, it goes on with zeros, 90% of all of the other starting salaries. And then finally, what salaries constitute the middle 50% of new teacher salaries? So now we know the percent, right? We know the probability or the area, and we want the salaries. We're looking for those X values. So again, I'm going to stay here on my TI calculator. If you can't, if you haven't found that, I just Googled TI-84 emulator, and this was my first hit. So you can find one of these online if you don't have like a physical one like this, or if you don't have an app on your phone, which is also a way to go. So let's see, middle 50%. So 71,000 is still in the middle, but we want that middle 50%. What salaries will, right, cut out that middle? So which operation is that? When we know the area and we want the values? Yep. So back to your distribution menu. This time it's the inverse normal. We're undoing the normal. And we're looking for an area of 0.5. Remember, the area goes in as a decimal. So 50%. We swoop 2 to the left. That'll put it 0.5. Our mu is that 71,000. Sigma is 3120. And we want it in the middle, in the center. And there are those values. So the left value is going to be 68,895.59 on the lower end, and the upper end, 73,104.41. So 50% of the salaries would be between those values.